Okay, today we are playing a game on Lijiang Tower. We are playing about half the game as Winston and about half the game as Zenyatta, and this was a competitive game, but it happened during placement, so who knows what the SR is up to, so on and so forth. Current team composition is Winston, Zarya, Junkrat, Pharah, Soldier, and Mercy, so we only have one healer and 3 DPS. It's not the end of the world, because the one healer is a main healer, which basically still means Ana or Mercy. Moira can... This was before Moira even got put in competitive, but Moira can be a main healer, but she can't really solo heal. She can, but it's extremely difficult to do so, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you're like really good at Moira. So we have an Ana or a Mercy is like the important thing, basically. And honestly, if we're gonna have a Junkrat and a Pharah, I kinda still want somebody to be playing a hit scan hero so that we can counter a Pharah if they have one, you know? That's just me. So, you know, it's not the end of the world that we only have one healer, because it's a main healer. In the accompanying email, it says, this match felt very mechanically sloppy from me, which I believe is my primary contribution to this loss, which is hard to deny, especially at certain points. Now halfway through, I switch off Winston to Zenyatta to preserve the 2-2-2, assuming equal skill with both, should I have made the switch? Yes, assuming equal skill, you should change to make the team 2-2-2. I do hold the surprisingly controversial opinion that your skill with a hero is more important than team composition. Within reason, like, if your team has no healers, you should change to a healer, because, like, you need a healer, but I am of the opinion that, suppose you're like, you've got 3 DPS and you've got 1 tank, and you're playing Genji. Like, yeah, on paper, you should change to, like, Reinhardt or something, because then you'll have a tank that makes it 2-2-2. But also, if you don't know how to play a tank, you should just keep playing Genji. Because I'd rather you're playing a hero that you know how to play, rather than trying to play a hero you don't know how to play, because that makes the team comp better. Because if you don't know how to play the hero, you're not going to be able to take advantage of why that hero is strong, so then it might as well not even be 2-2-2, because you don't know how to play one of the two. This is a surprisingly controversial opinion amongst the Overwatch community from what I've seen. But like, yeah, assuming equal skill with both, you should try to make it 2-2-2 as best you can. Very simple answer. So, let's start the game. So we're on control center. I can never remember if it's control tower or control center. I think it's control center. Quality suddenly got a lot better right there. Good job, YouTube. So, the thing with Winston in this game is that, we jump into, like, a lot of bad situations. And here we got hooked, which is not great. We did put our bubble down to, like, try and fight the Mei, which is fair enough. Then we get hooked, and we're low because we got hooked, and we jump, like, further in. Granted, we're in an awkward position to jump backwards, but we don't want to be going further in. Unless we were trying to, like, jump to the health kit over on the ledge, which I suppose would be fair enough, and we just didn't go far enough. But, like, we jumped further in, which is not recommended if you're low HP, basically. And, like, our bubble was down as well, because we had just used it to fight a Mei, like, you know, fair enough. So there's a Widowmaker up here, whom we are trying to get. I would not put my bubble down up here, because I would never expect the Widowmaker to stay up there. Also, the bubble doesn't necessarily help you fight Widowmaker, particularly in that position, because she's either just gonna run away, or she's gonna try and, like, machine gun you point blank. Like, it doesn't really help you fight Widow, and if she's, like, using her machine gun, it's kinda like, whatever, right? Like, this is not exactly the greatest gun on the planet in machine gun form, but, like, she's never gonna stay up there. So, we just end up leaving the bubble behind, and now we don't have it for a long time, which is very upsetting, and we'd much rather have the bubble right now, actually. But we don't have the bubble, and instead we have to try and run away. Oh, we did just barely get away. It would have been a lot less scary if we didn't leave our bubble up there, on the high ground, basically. So, now we're coming back in again. They've just been sound barriered, and we are, scuffling with the Roadhog, which we really want to try and avoid doing if at all possible. Though their team is a little difficult for Winston to fight, just broadly speaking, except for Widow, obviously. And D.Va is kinda like, is favored for D.Va, but like, realistically the D.Va's probably not gonna kill you. So, we end up, again, we're like going further in at low HP, and then the D.Va comes back to actually help her teammates, if you can believe it. Teamwork in my Overwatch. So we end up getting killed right before we had Primal Rage. It's okay, we've been res, so we can start fighting again. We've almost got Primal Rage, so there's kind of not that much reason to be afraid right now. We are looking for Widowmaker right now, I believe, whom we have just spotted. We put our bubble down over... Why did we put our bubble down over here? Because I wasn't really thinking about that. Just kind of put it down because people are right there. We can just, like, jump away. Like, it does end up blocking the hook, which is cool, but, like, really you should be able to expect to just kind of, like, jump out of that situation. You shouldn't really have to put the bubble down right there. Because then, like, we want to go in, but then the bubble is up at, like, a kind of awkward time, and, like, we're low HP when we get in again. And we don't actually even get time to build up Primal Rage, but now, like, our team is dying at this point, so, like, we don't even want to keep fighting anymore, really, so, like, now we just kind of want to back up and wait anyway. Our Junkrat just killed their Mei, we're waiting for our team to get back over here, we've helped Mercy get back faster. Roadhog has just used his ultimate, as we've discovered. Their D.Va is dead, most of them are actually dead right now. We've spotted Widowmaker, we want Widowmaker dead, so we're just gonna run her down. And she wants out, but, like, it's pretty automatic. You know, there's, like, not much Widow can do about it. At least not on this map. Like, Widow can, like, get away from a Winston, but, like, not really here. So, now we have Primal Rage, finally. It's taken us a while to get there, but we have Primal Rage. So now we don't really have much reason to be afraid for quite a while. We misaligned the jump. That happens a couple times in this game. There's one really bad one on this round. It was very sad. Which is why it's hard to deny the assertion in the email. Now we're going to jump up to try and fight the Mei. She walls us off, so now we aren't going to be doing anything up here for a while. And we're coming back down to fight. Oh, Graviton, lots of ultimates. Oh, good heavens, not actually anybody we can fight in the Graviton, so we just jump away. And now we're going to try and fight these men over here. Widow just kind of gives up on trying to get to the health kit. And, like, yeah, it was scary, but, like, it's kind of just scary in general. So, unfortunately, it was a pretty open space, which makes it hard to actually pin somebody in the corner, and, this is the bad one. This is the bad one. It's hard to pin somebody in a corner and just, like, kill them with Primal Rage in that kind of open space. You can do it. But, like, it ended up being awkward, and we kind of ended up just pushing her around, and we didn't actually kill anyone with Primal Rage. Is that kind of ultimate? And, like, that's kind of a mechanical thing, because, like, it's definitely possible to kill the Widowmaker in that position, if we, do it better. But, like, honestly, Primal Rage is such a fucking, like, awkward ultimate to use. Like, I hate Primal Rage a lot. Like, it's an okay ultimate. It's probably it's like a 6 out of 10 ultimate. Like, it's okay. I fucking hate it, though. I just wish it gave you the third-person camera while you're in Primal Rage, because I can't keep track of fucking anything when I'm in Primal Rage. There's pushing people around, you're jumping around, punching, trying to punch people, your fists are taking up, like, half the screen, like, it's just a nightmare. I wish it put you in the third-person camera, because I have so much trouble keeping track of things. And I'm someone who's been playing, like, first-person shooter games for, like, over 20 years, and, like, I get disorientated using Primal Rage half the time, so, like, it must be a real nightmare for some people. So, a lot of our team ended up getting killed, so we were kind of, like, dead during part of that as well, so now we've got, like, time to get back and try one last time. Mercy has ended up dying at, like, the actual worst possible time. And we don't quite make it. We are, like, a foot off of it, which is very sad. Sag Skywalker has also just disconnected. Cat's doing something fucking weird in the other room. It's partway through this round that we change to Zenyatta, by the way. So, the Winston section will be coming to a close soon, and I can resume complaining about Zenyatta's right-click, which everyone wants to fight me on, but I will continue to fight absolutely everyone on. I'll die on this hill. It's fine. So, we are currently in a 5v6, just flat out, which is always going to make it quite difficult. Now, Junkrat is dead, so it's currently a 4v6, but it's okay, he's alive again, and now we're gonna bully this Zenyatta to death. I'm gonna point it out, even though, like, it's relatively minor, because we are playing Winston, and dodging as hard as this guy, we're doing a lot of jumping, like, right at the dude, and not really varying our movement very much. Like, Winston can take very wide, like, okay, that's bad also. Winston can take, like, he can do a lot to try and make himself hard to hit because you personally have almost no aim requirement. Like, as long as they're in your field of view, you're getting hit, they're getting hit. But we're just kind of, like, run at them, and we only move, like, a little bit, like this, like, not very much, you know? We could be putting more effort into dodging. Also, jumping around is not actually making you harder to dodge, because once you jump, you're locked into the arc. You can't really alter. You can alter it a little bit, but you can't really alter your jump. So it doesn't actually make you harder to hit. It's better to do, like, better do, like, sharp sideways angles and, like, crouching and uncrouching, because it's more unpredictable, basically, rather than running at somebody, like, jumping a little bit to the side and stuff. Like, Winston is still big and easy to hit, and the front, his head hitbox is still basically the entire front of his model, so, like, it doesn't matter in, like, 90% of circumstances, but, like, you can put a little bit more effort into dodging as Winston than we did right there. So, anyway, that team fight ended up going a lot better than expected, especially since we started at 5v6 to begin with. So we got hooked by Roadhog, which is very sad, but we can just jump away, and it's all fine. So, Sag Skywalker, I believe, comes back. Yeah, here's Sag Skywalker right now. He came back just before the 2 minutes. And we end up getting killed. Like, we're still fighting 5v6 at this point in time, so it's just always going to be very difficult. Especially versus their team, which is quite awkward. It's getting worse to play Winston against by the second, in fact. During the first round, I would have considered changing to, Diva. Just because she's, like, a little better at dealing with Roadhog. Not massively, but, like, a little bit better. And, like, she can still kill, Widowmaker quite consistently. At this point, now they also have Reaper. And, like, Primal Rage is a good ability. Like, Reaper is still good against Diva, but, like, she is better against Reaper than Winston is. So, at this point, I would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna change to Diva, actually. Diva is also better at killing Diva than Winston is, which is, like, kind of weird. Here's the cap. But Diva's got shotguns and missiles, which are better for killing another Diva than the Tesla cannon is, you know? Yo, Cap, if you could, like, get out of the way just, like, a little bit. No, there's nothing left in that for you. Like, there's no food there. So currently 2 of our team are dead, so we don't really want to be doing too much right now. We're just waiting for our team to get back. Here is the cat now. So, we are, just lost Farah immediately as we try to go in. Oh no, self-destruct. We could have just hopped over the wall back towards our spawn, rather than back into the enemy team again. I imagine it was largely a panic response, just like, oh fuck, get me away from the bomb, but we didn't go the best way. I know, like, you've heard a lot of great noises coming through the microphone, what with the cat moving around and me moving stuff on the table. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, the cat decided he was gonna be here, so what could I do about it, you know? So, there goes the cat. Out he comes, he disrupts our production value, and then he just leaves immediately anyway. And I know what you're thinking. What production value? Haha, funny joke. So now we're playing Zenyatta. So it was to preserve 222, so Farah changed to Diva. Okay, fair enough. Farah's really good against their team, so I don't support that decision, because, like, who on their team is gonna... Well, I guess they've got a Widowmaker, but, like, that's kinda it. Farah is really good against the rest of their team, so, like, I don't really support that decision. Like, I kind of just assumed the Farah was bad, and, like, not actually playing around Widow, and that was, like, a lot of the problem. So anyway, now we're playing Zenyatta. And over there we see a blizzard, so that makes it difficult for us to do much. We are, like, standing way far back trying to put our healing orb on somebody, which meant we couldn't really see into the point properly, but, like, by the time we arrive, actually, our team has already largely dealt with it, because they lost 2 people really quickly, Roadhog and Lucio, so they were pretty fucked, actually. So, now we've gotten control of the point, which is good, because I find Shrine to be... This isn't Shrine. This is Garden. I'm thinking of Nepal. I find Garden to be one of the harder points to retake once you've lost control of it. So, like, it's good that we have control of it now. So right now we're doing some of the walking into people, which is, excuse me, Jesus, not a good idea. Because we're walking into the Diva right now, which we don't want to be doing. We also took some damage just generally, like dropped really low, which is scary. But we ended up not dying because the enemy team was not actually, like, around. So, Zenyatta is kind of hard to play against their team because of, well, as we can see, Genji, Diva is also quite scary. Did we put our healing orb on Mercy during that? No, we should have put our healing orb on Mercy right there because she's currently really low and we really don't want Mercy to die. Mercy ends up getting spun on anyway, like our Harmony Orb would not have saved her from that one, but we should have put it on her because we really don't want Mercy to die. There's the cat now, content in having ruined our production value. He's just going to sit over there and look smug for a while now. Isn't that right, you asshole? So, got hooked, didn't die, good times. Here's Genji. We are calling out who we've marked as well, so that's generally good practice, though I find, like, people really want you to, like, call out who you've marked on Discord. I'm just like, don't be lazy fucking assholes. And I was gonna say something way harsher. Don't be lazy fucking assholes. I was gonna say don't be lazy cunts. And just, like, look at where the purple balloon is. Like, it's not actually that hard to see who's marked. But no, like, people really want you to call out who you've discorded as Zenyatta, which is just very tiresome, in my opinion. So we've got Transcendence right now, and they're currently just running in to touch the point because they have to touch the point or lose. So because we have Transcendence, there should be basically no reason we lose this point. And, that ult's right next to us, so we just decide we're going to use self-destruct. Unfortunately, like, Genji starts using Dragon Blade at the same time, which lines up very nicely, but unfortunately Mercy ended up getting killed by self-destruct anyway. But by this point, most of their team is dead, so it's not an issue. See that? Mercy didn't have her cast time. How about that? Oh, the golden days. So by that point, they were already basically fucked. So, now, final round, quite short compared to the other rounds, as you might see from the timeline. Place your bets down if you think we lose really hard or win really hard. Yeah, the game that you disconnected and we won, so you need you to disconnect again. I mean, the stats don't lie, do they? The round he was here, we lost. So, here comes Diva. We've put our Discord orb on Diva because she's kind of the only one we can see. Now we've put it on Genji. Genji's gone again. I mean, he has to, like, because he wasn't allowed to be doing that, and he had Discord on him, so, like, really has to try and break that, even though people don't respect it. Here comes Diva. Diva could have kept going. Like, Diva had a great opportunity to actually kill us or Mercy right there, because our team did not turn around to help us, but Diva just left anyway. So, we kind of got away with that one. Currently, low HP as we start peeking around this corner. We don't want to be peeking at 86 HP. We don't want to do that. Even if we think it's probably pretty safe on the point, like 86 HP is really fucking low. So we don't, and Zenyatta's really easy to kill because he's a floating box. So we really don't want to peek the corner at that low HP. And they have a Lucio, so we just kind of have to be always aware that we're standing next to a ledge and trying to account for Lucio, basically. Which is hard on that map, but, on this map, I should say, that map, like, past tense, like, we died, so now we're on a new map. Not like, this map's hard to play around Lucio on, but you can. You just have to try and, like, keep in mind where Lucio is and try not to blindly peek corners if you suspect Lucio is somewhere in the area, because otherwise that happens to you. And then as soon as you see Lucio coming, you have to, like, really quickly just try and, like, push yourself against a wall so you don't get pushed off. So, here we are again walking into the person we're shooting at, which is not good. We in fact walked past, like, quite a few of our team to actually get there. And then we end up taking a chunk of damage, and then Genji just gets to finish us off. Playing Zenyatta, we want to be far back. We don't want to be pushing through people to try and, like, right now, no one between us and the enemy team. That's really bad. We don't want to ever be the front line. We don't even want to be with the front line. Like, we want to be quite far back as Zenyatta. Our team is trying to go around this way. We didn't put our Discord orb on Roadhog right here. Like, we don't actually have our Discord orb up on anyone right now. We are obviously looking to have our orbs up as close to 100% of the time as possible, and we didn't put on Roadhog. Probably thought we did, but we didn't. So we've almost got Transcendence now, which is cool. We have just lost our Zarya, so that's very uncool. And, self-destruct's behind us right there, so we kind of have to come this way, which basically means we're fucked, because we are still playing Zenyatta. By that point, honestly, I probably throw myself off the edge, because I look at that, and then I see that it kills Mercy, and I'm like, yeah, we lost this fight, and I kind of just don't want to give them more ult charge. So, as you can see, we're having a lot of trouble getting in, because this point is also hard to retake. Just generally quite hard to retake, but our team is also deciding to go the hardest way possible versus their team, because look at all the things they can bump us off the edge with. Roadhog can hook us off the edge, Lucio can bump us off the edge, D.Va can bump us off the edge, and Junkrat can bump us off the edge. So, and also, like, we don't actually have, like, a shield, and we're trying to walk through this pretty narrow area to try to get to them, even though and it forces us to be right on top of them, even though we actually have a long-range team comp right now, because we have Soldier, Zenyatta, Junkrat. Junkrat can be close, but, like, would rather not in a lot of cases, and yet we're trying to push through into this very close range team on their side, trying to push in this very narrow area where we're also just getting bumped off as we're going in. And it's all around terrible. It's hard to retake in our team, and we're trying to go, like, the worst possible way to try and go as well. So it's all in all pretty fucking terrible. There goes the tire. Tire didn't actually kill anyone. It's a Christmas miracle. So we have Transcendence. We've only got time for one more push. And we've immediately stepped on a trap, which is, of course, very sad. We've lost D.Va right as the fight starts, and we end up holding Transcendence too long. It's okay. Mercy's got Valkyrie, so now we can go again. And we just, like, rush in, and we're like, oh, come on, come touch it with me, people. And eventually they come in and touch us. Touch with us, not touch us. That'd be bad. We don't want to get touched. Right now, we're trying to get this Mercy. We shouldn't really be standing on the point right now, because, like, we still don't want to die. Like, even though we're currently in a hectic moment where, like, we have to touch the point or lose, people are touching the point for us, right? Like, a lot of people are actually still here. We don't need to be touching the point right now. We're still playing Zenyatta. We don't want to be standing on the point. We could be standing off the point, just putting orbs on people through the doorway and shooting at people through the doorway. We're, like, really focusing on trying to kill the Mercy. We're not gonna kill Mercy. Unless Soldier has Tac Visor, Mercy isn't gonna die, realistically, so us being on the point to try and put Discord Orb on her is not really worth it. It's better off for us to just be off the point putting Discord Orb on somebody else through the doorway, because then we're still, like, being safe, and then if we have to, we can come in and start touching the point when we have no other choice. Like, right there, other people were touching it for us, so we can just hover off the point, and then come in as soon as we need to be touching the point. And then just sit back, adapting proper Zenyatta procedure until that point, basically, where we just sit and shoot at people onto the point instead. Like, unless Soldier's got Tac Visor, like, it's so hard to kill a Mercy through Valkyrie unless you have Tac Visor or Deadeye. Sometimes Dragon Blade, sometimes Self-Destruct, sometimes Junkrat Tire, but, like, basically you need to trade an ultimate on the Mercy to kill her out of Valkyrie, generally. Sometimes the McCree is a god, and for, like, that 3-second period, and actually just headshots her twice and she dies. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the Widowmaker actually hits something and it dies, but, like, realistically, Mercy isn't gonna die, so we might as well just be safe off the point. Because the chances of her actually dying are so low. So, yeah, basically, like, the biggest thing that stands out in this game is just kind of, like, mechanical stuff. Some positioning stuff, like when we're running down the Zenyatta as Winston, we aren't putting that much effort into dodging. When we're playing Zenyatta, we're doing a lot of, moving into people that we're shooting at, and just generally standing too close to people. Which is, I find, very common with people that are tank mains when they start playing supports. Suddenly they basically always stand way too close to people. That's why Moira is the perfect hero for me, because I can go up there and I can fight people, and I got the best cooldown in the game and fade, so I don't have to die. Very common, like, tank players try to play a different role. They're always too close to people. They are always positioning too aggressively. Like, It's just how it is. Like, it's just always, because suddenly you have to go through this very sudden shift, right? Where, like, I was the front line, now suddenly I'm the back line, and then always too close. So, but like, other than that, it was just like mechanical stuff, like we like throw ourselves off the edge as Winston, which is of course really bad, and then there's like a couple misaligned jumps, and then like kind of dual stuff where we aren't, juking as hard as we could. And then, so like, mostly mechanical stuff, and then like Zenyatta positioning too aggressively, just like across the board, basically. So, those are the things that stood out the most in this game. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered your question from the email inadequately, please let me know, and I'll try to expand further. And I hope you found the video helpful.